Yeah. In the last session, we have written a program on the by predicate actually. So we have a person and we want to check the voting eligibility for a person, and we have passed the minimum age to vote. Actually, this is the criteria. So this is the value we are passing it from our client application. This is the value we are passing like as an argument to the by predicate with the help with the person object. Okay. So now what you'll do is he'll be passing this person predicate a person by predicate to the validate method. So the validate method will be having the person predicate and the you are passing person details. A person will be having an age and the name, and you are passing the person details and the minimum age to vote. So we have given the minimum age to vote is 18. Okay. So now we have passed it to the validate function. So we are getting inside the validate function. We are validating over here. So by predicate dot test. So the test method will be taking two parameters. One is the person. The other one is the minimum age to vote actually. So it will call the test method. So it will directly go to the implementation. It will directly go to the implementation where we have done the implementation. We have written the implementation over here. Okay. We have written the implementation over here. Okay. So now here we have the implementation. So our person details will be copied to over here and the minimum age will be copied to over here. So now what we are doing, so person dot get age. What is the age of a person? 6 is the age. You can see over here. 6 is the age. Okay. And minimum age to vote actually. What is the minimum age to vote? 19. So you are checking that. So person dot get age is 6 and minimum age to vote is 19. So 6 is greater than 19. No, it is false. So it will return false. So based on the result, so here we are making a call to the validate person eligibility, right? So this method will be returning a false. So based on the boolean value, we will be printing the statement. If it is a true, so it will say eligible. In this case, it is returning false, so it is saying not eligible. Okay. So now, as of now, what we are doing, we are passing the person object directly to the, to the by function, directly to the by function. Okay. So we are directly implementing over here. So what if I want to what if I don't want to pass the person object directly? Okay. What is the other, functional interface we have? So let's go and learn that actually. So, okay. So in order to, we have a supplier interface actually. Supplier interface which doesn't take any argument. Okay. It doesn't take any argument. Let me go to the notepad and let me explain this. Notepad plus plus. Okay. Supplier. Okay. Supplier is an interface. It's also one of the functional interface which will be taking an argument of type, which it doesn't take an argument of type T. Sorry. It doesn't take an argument of type T, and it will return the object. When we are calling the get function, it will return the object. Here T is an object. Okay. So for example, For example, let's say we have a person and we want to return the person. Okay, so I'll say new person, and the person will be having an age and the name. So the let's say age is 24 and the name is let's say yeah. Okay, and we are handovering this person to the supplier. Person supplier. Okay, so what is the type it is taking supplier? It's a taking an object, right? So we are writing person in the in the rectangular brackets. Okay. So person is a functional interface which doesn't take any argument. Okay, it will only return an object when we are making a call to the get function. So this is the definition of a supplier. Okay. So now I want to get the object of person. So what I'll say? I'll say person supplier dot get function. So what it will do? It will return the details of this person. These details will be returned. These details will be returned. Okay. Fine. Got it? So we have the overloaded, functional interface as well. So for objects, if we want to, get an object, we will be using a supplier. If you want to retrieve the primitive values, so based on the, for example, I am generating a random number. I want to get the random number. Okay, I'll say, uh, let's say, for example, I want to return some value. Okay, let's say, I'm returning 100 and I want to capture that value and what read the value. I'll be using a supplier. I'll say int supplier equals to return this value. That's it. So if you want to get the value, what you will say? Int supplier dot get of. So you will be calling get value. It will be returning 100. Okay. So fine. Similarly, if you want to return the double value. Okay. So similarly, you will write, return the 100 point something number and you will be getting it. If you want to return string value. So for string is an object, right? For us, it is not a data type actually. It is an object. So let's say I'm returning a string over here. So I will say return hello. Okay. So I'll be using a supplier here. And what is the type? I'm reading it. I'm capturing it. String is a type. I'm capturing it. I'll say string supplier. Cool. Now, if I want to get the object which is stored by the supplier, what I'll do, I'll call string supplier dot get function. It will return hello. Okay. Similarly, if I want to I have a category object. Okay. So the category will be having the category ID and the category name and the price. Okay. So I'll say like that, I'll be creating a new category. The category will be having the ID and the name. And I'll say that electronic devices is the category. And its starting price would be, let's say, 100 rupees. I'll be taking a double. Okay. If I want to, I want to read this value. So I'll be handovering this category details to the supplier. Okay. Supplier will be reading this category. I'll say this category supplier. We'll say if you want to read the value of a supplier, so I'll say get, you'll be invoking get method and we'll be reading the values. So the same details will be written it. Okay. Now we have, our voting eligibility criteria, right? So we were using this, where it is. Yeah. Yeah. So here what you are doing, you are directly passing the person object. Okay, you are directly passing the person object. I don't want to do that. Okay, what I'll do is in place of person object, I'll use supplier. I'll try to get the value from the supplier. Let's say supplier of person. That's it is person supplier. Let's import the person supplier is available in the java.util.function supplier. Let's import this one. What is this? Cast expression. We should return it. Hmm. We are giving certain tasks to me. Person supplier, it will be taking the supplier only. Why it is asking me to cast it? So what is the version which I'm using over here? And something we can read it actually. Let me write it once again. Say supplier will be passing a person. Say person supplier will be threatening an object, person, and this will be it is a new person, and here you are passing um 6, and I'll say a okay. Still, and you're like passing the supplier here. Why it is throwing error? Why it is throwing error? Supplier cast. Why we need to cast? We don't need to cast anything. We don't need to cast anything. Let me check this one. Why we need to software this one. I forgot to add the lambda expression. That's what I'm wondering why it is throwing me an error. Oh, it's fine. Okay, got it. So supplier and the supplier will be getting the person details. He'll be passing the person supplier. Be passing the person supplier over here. Now what you do is you'll be going and updating your validate person. Here instead of a person, you'll be saying supplier of person. Let's import it. Import this one. Imported. Now what you will do is in order to get the person details, what you have to call, what method you have to call? You have to call person dot get method. Okay. So now you got the person details. Now you are passing the person and minimum age. Now let me run this application. So it will run as same as we were we were get as same as like the by predicate one. So here the only change what we did it, we have added the supplier. We have added the supplier. So what is a supplier? Supplier is a functional interface which doesn't take any argument. It will it will return only the value when we are making a call to the get function. That is the supplier. Okay, fine. So you are getting the not eligible because the age is 6 only. We are our minimum age to vote is 19. So let me give the different age. Let me give 60. So let me run this one. So now you'll be getting the eligible. Okay. Here I forgot to add this, the lambda expression actually. So that's why I was getting that error actually. So eligible. Cool. Right. Fine. Any doubts in this before we move to the next topic? You're not starting the video, it's recording the video, right? So let me write the example. Let me write the example on the consumer. Let me take a real world example and let me explain that actually.